participate in this kind of behavior again. Alex, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Say something, Jay.
Hi, Judge. Can you hear me?
Give me a second. Hey, Alex,
Sure.
do you mind hitting the button on the speaker, please? Give me a second. The button might not be hit.
Okay, Judge.
All right, say something.
Good morning, Your Honor.
There we go. Who are you here on?
Judge, I'm here on Omaria McKelvin. She's present in court. It's her first offense ever, DWI.
Okay, bear with me 1 second.
Sure.
Is it McElveen?
Yes, Your Honor. Correct. She's present in court, Your Honor.
I got her. She's coming up.
Great.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I don't know if the TVs are working, but your lawyer's here with you on Zoom, so you know you're not alone. Okay. Ms. McElveen, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On February 28th, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle run a red light on Derry Ashford and Westheimer at a high rate of speed. And upon catching up with the vehicle, the officer observed the vehicle run another red light at Kirkwood and Westheimer, both intersections in Harris County, Texas. The vehicle was estimated to be traveling at 80 miles per hour and a traffic stop was conducted. The officer observed glossy eyes, slurred speech, and the defendant was unaware she had run the lights. The officer asked the defendant to exit the vehicle and observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and an empty container of an alcoholic beverage and a half-empty open container of wine. Standard for
Drinking while driving?
there were open containers,
Stop.
Your Honor. And standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 4 out of 4, walk and turn 7 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. And DIC was read. The defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.146 and 0.144.
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Are you telling me that she's consuming alcohol while she's driving, Alex?
Let me read the full judgment, Your Honor, and see if there's any.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. If I find that you consume alcohol or illegal drugs, then I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Your Honor, they were just partially full. There's no indication they were cold to the touch or anything like that.
There is no observation of her drinking while driving.
And then I'll run her license, Your Honor.
Anytime you have an open container in a car, it's a minimum of 5 days in jail, flat to any sentence that you get. I would hope that it's elementary that you don't have alcohol in the car while you're driving.
Eligible, Your Honor.
All right, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. However, you must stay in touch with Mr. Dietrich and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. No alcohol, no illegal drugs. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. So if you don't have liability insurance in your name, do not drive. It is a condition of your bond. Do you understand? All right, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions, then you're free to go.
All right, Judge, how's April 15th through the 17th?
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice
Wait,
Valentine's Day.
Jay, we need to get your date. April.
Yeah.
15th, April 15th through the 17th.
15 sounds good, Judge.
Yeah. Okay, we got you.
Thanks, Your Honor. Have a good Valentine's Day. Enjoy the
Have fun.
weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye, Judge.
Come on up. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Judge, I'm here on Diego Camacho.
Macho,
Yes, sir.
do you need a translator?
No, Judge.
Okay. Come on up, Mr. Camacho.
All right, go ahead and sign it on the 7th.
You are Diego Camacho.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Camacho, you're charged with failure to stop and give information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 7th, 2025, officers were dispatched to Hardy Road in Harris County, Texas, in regard to a minor crash, failure to stop and give information call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with the complainant, who was also in police uniform. The complainant stated he was driving on the freeway when another vehicle got into his lane and cut him off to make the exit. The defendant got over and hit the front right panel of his truck with the back driver's side of the defendant's vehicle. The complainant followed the defendant who had his hazards on, but the defendant did not pull over. The complainant continued to follow the defendant's vehicle until the 911 operator told him to stop following. The complainant gave a description of the defendant's vehicle, and a license plate number to the dispatcher. The complainant pulled over and waited for the officers to make a report with an estimated damage of $2,000. The officers ran the license plate and found the vehicle registered to an address on Skinner Road, and the officers traveled to the location and met with the defendant and his father. The officers were given consent to enter the property to look at the vehicle and observe damage. The defendant stated he was crossing the lane to get over because there was an opening and that the truck accelerated and hit him. The defendant stated the complainant already hit him and was close behind him, so he kept going. The defendant stated he turned down his street and the complainant kept going. The defendant's address is approximately 7 miles from where the accident occurred.
Okay.
And so, Judge, if I may, the complainant was only stopped following him while he had his hazards because he was told on the 911 call. And also I see on the summary that when they run his license plates, license plates GS9711 is missing a letter. License plates are usually 3 letters, 3 and 3 numbers. So I'm not sure how running the license plates will go to his house. And additionally, if the correct license plates were also run, then it would actually show that he's not the owner of the vehicle. So I'm not sure how they were able to identify.
Well, somehow they got to the house, right?
Yes, Judge, they ran it and they got to an address and they went there and met with the defendant.
And then he states that he was driving, right? And the collision occurred, and then he took off. I don't, your license plate, I have no idea. I mean, did they have the full license plate or did they not?
Your Honor, at this time, I don't know. The DIMS just states, as counsel said, just GS9711. So I don't know in the full office report if it says the full license plate number, but either way, they ran a license plate and they returned.
Somehow they were able to get it to him. I don't know. I mean, if you discover something later that's different, come back and we can revisit probable cause. I'm happy to do it at any time.
Yeah, Judge. And so the reason I say that is because I have the tags for that vehicle, and that's not the license plates that we have on the summary. And that's
I
the
mean,
reason.
really, we'd have to set it for a formal hearing
Okay, Judge.
because I have to give them time to be able to respond to that as well,
That's
because
fine.
that's more, I mean, this is just a mere probable cause hearing.
Your Honor, in the OR, there is the complete license plate. It's the RSG and it continues on. So
I'll check on that, yeah. That's fine, Judge.
So you're saying it was in the DIMS?
in the DIMS, it was missing a letter, but in the full OR, they have the complete license number.
Pull the 911 tapes, see what the 911 tape
We'll wait
says,
for
right?
that,
It may
Judge.
be different, maybe they'll have the whole thing on the 911 tape,
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Camacho, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Have you run his license? See, he has a valid license.
We're running, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is a condition of your bond. So if I find that you're driving and you don't have a license or you don't have insurance, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'll put you in jail. No more PR bonds.
Eligible, Your Honor.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you have a lawyer. Good job having a lawyer. Because you do, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. You don't have to come back to court. She'll let you know when you have to come back to court. All right? All right, I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. All right? Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
Right, the council is approaching on page 16. Thompson, come on up.
Can you follow those conditions, Alex, please?
Just no contact with the complainant and which other?
I didn't say that, but that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
And then no license, no insurance, no driver's.
Okay.
Time to release them. Go ahead and have a seat in the jury box.
Oh,
This is Lauren Thompson. You are Lauren Thompson. Ms. Thompson, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
One moment, Your Honor. Is Thompson correct?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Okay. On February 8th, 2025, the officers were traveling on 4300 Luella Avenue in Deer Park and observed a motor vehicle driving with an expired license plate. The officer confirmed with TCIC and CIC and performed a traffic stop. Upon making contact with the defendant, he observed bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to consuming 3 alcoholic seltzers, and standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and refused to provide a sample, and a blood search warrant was signed and executed.
All right, Ms. Thompson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Any prior to WIs, and does she have a license?
No priors, Your Honor. I'm running her
No,
license
Your
right
Honor,
now.
she doesn't have any priors.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. As long as you're not using, everything will be fine. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
Your Honor, we'd like to state that she did tell the officer that, she had, taken some medication. So she did explain to the officer that she was under some medication. So we would like our concern is the revocation of her license. There's motions for.
I'm not revoking her license. I mean, you may continue to drive, just if it does become suspended at a later point, you just have to be cognizant of that it does, that you're not allowed to drive. So just be careful. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with the ALR hearing and all that. So just be careful. Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. Just don't consume alcohol. Don't use illegal drugs. If you're taking or no unprescribed controlled medication. If you're taking medication prescribed by a doctor, that's absolutely fine.
You tell us, Your Honor.
Okay, just understand that if you're taking a controlled substance, even prescribed by a doctor, if you take too much, it can be an intoxicant. And if you get in a car, it's bad news. So you just be very, very careful. You understand? Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to have you sign a receipt. Victoria will have you sign your bond condition for Felicia, and then you guys are free to go. Thanks. That way.
One second. All right, Judge. Next judge is page. Do you want the ones without attorneys first?
I don't care. Just
Okay, page 1, or I'm sorry, 2,
don't matter.
Alti, Ahmed.
Have you heard from Eddie? Do you know if he's coming? Have you talked to your lawyer? Do you know if he's coming?
I have a attorney. He's already at the courthouse. I think he's in another courtroom right now.
Yeah, I guess let's wait for the lawyers to see when. Yeah, it's all right. Just take a seat for me, sir.
All right,
Don't
thank you. She'll get her reset at the pretrial.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Judge, next is page 6 and 7. Herrera, come on up.
You were Anderson Herrera. All right, Mr. Herrera, you're charged with criminal trespass. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 6th, 2025, the officer was notified by a witness that a former student, the defendant, was inside Spring High School. The defendant was unenrolled from the school by the associate principal on February 4th, 2025, and was told not to return. Spring ISD school records show the defendant is no longer an active student, and the school officer and associate principal advised the defendant to leave on February 6th a second time, not to return. The officer observed the defendant walking on the walkway with other students, and the defendant continued to walk in the officer's direction. The officer observed the defendant pull his hoodie over his head while walking towards the bus ramp area. The officer was in full uniform and gave the defendant a verbal command to stop and follow the officer to his patrol vehicle. The defendant disregarded these verbal commands and began walking in the opposite direction. The officer grabbed the defendant by his left arm, and the defendant began to resist, pulling away to the point where he started coming out of his hoodie. The officer verbally commanded the defendant to stop, and the defendant broke loose and used evasive foot maneuvers to gain distance from the officer in the direction of an open parking lot. The officer notified Spring ISD police and requested assistance. The defendant was detained 300 yards from the initial interaction.
So he was where?
He was at Spring High
I know,
School.
but was he in the outside or was he?
He was on the outside walking towards a parking lot and walking with a group of students when the officer interacted with
He's
him.
outside. Was he, any
Still on
point?
the property owner of Spring High School, and they told him not to return to that high school. They told him on the 4th of February not to return to the high school, and he was
Yeah,
on the
I
property.
understand that,
Mhm.
but he's on the outskirts, he's on the sidewalk.
He was walking on a walkway with other students.
Walkway of the school,
It was
near the parking lot of the school, which is owned by the school.
yes, Judge, it was the walkway with other students, and that's when the officer saw him and tried to make contact with him.
I mean, I'd like to know where, is he on public property? Is he just on a sidewalk on the outside of the school, Just walking?
He was with other students on the walkway walking towards the
Is
bus.
that,
And further in the DIMS, it describes it as the walkway near the portable buildings located north of the band parking lot. So
let's do this, Mr. Herrera. I'm gonna appoint you a lawyer today so we can get down and dirty with your case a little bit more. Just take a seat for me in the jury box. Let me get you a lawyer, okay?
Judge, can I get on the sign first?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me have you sign a receipt real quick. Can you go ahead and appoint him a lawyer so we can,
All right, Judge, next is gonna be page 7, no, 8. I'm gonna get it together. Page 9, Jonathan, Tamisha, come on up. Hang on a second, 1 second.
Good morning, Ms. Johnson. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
yes, Judge. On February 6, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle with an unreadable temporary tag and initiated a traffic stop. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, and the defendant stated her license plates were in the vehicle, but she did not put them on yet. The officer ran the plates and did a person check, and the return showed the defendant had been issued a Texas driver's license, but it had been expired since 2015 and was not eligible for renewal. The defendant had 7 previous DWI convictions and an open warrant for DWLI.
7 prior DWLI convictions, and now she had an open warrant for one?
DWLI, yes, Judge.
Where,
You see, Judge.
so she's currently on bond in another county?
This is out of an active open warrant for DWLI out of Harris County, Texas, and it gives the cause number. I just don't know which court it is in.
Can you run her license right now, please?
I'll run it, Your Honor.
I think it's terrible, but I want you to this me on this. You think it's worth the shot?
You need to understand, man, that this is absolutely serious business. I have people that send me emails and letters now begging me what to do and try to help them out because they've gotten to an accident where they've injured someone else and they have now been filed a lawsuit where someone else is trying to get $50,000 from them and they're begging, what do? I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have that. That's why we have car insurance, so that when you are in an accident, you are covered because you never know when it's going to happen. That's why they're called accidents and not on purposements, right? There are many accidents out there that you can, it just, if you maim someone, who do you think they're going to come after? And if they get a judgment after you, it'll trail you for the rest of your life.
We have no license on file for Ms. Johnson in our system.
Stop. If you do not have a Texas driver's license, ma'am, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Totally.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Take it seriously. I don't care if there's a burning building and 50 children that need to be saved. Your attitude says a lot, and it's really unfortunate. But somehow we have to get through to you, Ms. Johnson. If you don't have a license and liability insurance in your name, you're not allowed to drive. If you show me that you do, then I will take this restriction off. So let's do this. I will give you, I know you're itching to say something, but I've got a bunch of prosecutors here. I will give you a lawyer today. I'll give you a lawyer. You can say your side to the lawyer, but I'm not asking for much. All I'm telling you, if you don't have a license, then don't drive. Do you understand?
That's why I did my part. They're not honoring it. It's right there. I did it in November. I'm just waiting on Austin. I've done my part.
I don't know. So
Exactly.
what you need to do is you need to call DPS in Austin and figure out, hey, what do I need to do to get my license? But I can give you a lawyer today. Talk to the lawyer, and the lawyer can also help you out. But until that point, until you have an actual license and insurance, do not drive. Are we clear? Okay. All right. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to this, then I'll have you sign a wreath of Victoria, and I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We find your lawyer here momentarily. You want to go hire a lawyer?
I have benefits through my company. If you're telling me.
It's up to you. I was offering you a lawyer. You don't have to pay for one today, or you can go hire one, whatever you want. You tell me.
I probably just get one because nobody's hearing me and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Is call somebody to.
Okay, it's up to you. You know, we have great lawyers here.
All right, Judge, next is page 12. Norman, come on up.
I need to put and insurance in the name. So I need to rephrase that because I didn't put insurance. I want to make sure that there's insurance in there.
I have one.
Who's this?
Page 12, Norman.
Good morning, Mr. Norman. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. Facing, bless you, up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. She can't give you legal advice, ma'am. Can you follow those conditions on Ms. Johnson as well, please? Vic, I'm going to have her sign state's bond conditions as well. Okay, so we're gonna do probable cause. If you don't have a lawyer, you may be able to qualify for an appointed lawyer. Just don't say anything.
Yes, Judge. On February 6, 2025, on Westheimer in Harris County, Texas, the officer was dispatched to a DWI investigation. The officer met with a witness who stated he observed another vehicle almost strike his vehicle. The witness exited his vehicle and observed the defendant driving a gray Acura, and the defendant appeared intoxicated. The vehicles were then relocated to a gas station where the witness called the police. The arriving officer observed glossy eyes, slurred speech, swaying, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. SFSTs were conducted, and HGN was 6 out of 6, one leg stand 2 out of 4, walk and turn 4 out of 8. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were 0.222 and 0.228.
So the stop was there an accident or no accident?
No, just a witness call. Well, there was an accident or almost struck his vehicle, and the witness called. Yes.
So the witness
The
called.
witness called when they got to a gas station, and the officer arrived to meet them there at the scene. After the witness had told them that the vehicle had almost struck his vehicle, and that, according to the witness, the defendant appeared intoxicated.
Mr. Norman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Any prior DWIs?
Your Honor.
Please.
No priors, and I'm running his license right now.
You?
License is eligible, Your Honor.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed
I can get
lawyer?
one then.
You're going to get one?
If you can get one.
You want to apply?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'm serious. Don't consume alcohol. They're going to call you to go test. If you fail to go test, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You understand? All right. Hi, do you have an arraignment?
Yeah. So, yes, I do have an arraignment. I'm not pushing probable cause for Benjamin Raymond.
Say it again? Is
Benjamin Raymond.
that from today or yesterday?
He's on docket today.
He's on the jail docket, Judge.
I don't see it, but
20 Benjamin Raymond.
got it. Okay, you want to do it real quick?
Yes, Judge. So on February 3rd, 2025, at 11:40 a.m., the officer ran a license plate search on a vehicle and found the vehicle to have expired registration. The traffic stop was then initiated, and the officer notified the defendant for the reason of the stop and asked for the defendant's driver's license. The defendant provided a Texas ID that did not belong to him, and the officer asked the defendant for a name and date of birth. A search for the provided information showed the defendant's driver's license to be ineligible, and the vehicle also did not have valid insurance. The officer did a person search on the defendant and found the defendant had a bond condition for an ignition interlock device, and the defendant's vehicle did not have an interlock. The vehicle was registered to the defendant.
With the license plate check, however, I don't believe that there's sufficient probable cause for the stop because with the license plate check, there might have been reasonable suspicion to do the initial check. But if without them being able to positively identify that Mr. Raymond was actually behind the vehicle, I don't believe that there is.
Well, but I mean, there's sufficient to stop just what that car, it's not legally on the road, right? It's not registered. So I think it's a good stop because, they get to the car. He's on bond for a DWI, a felony DWI. He's supposed to even have an interlock. He's driving a car without an interlock and then, no, there's probably.
Okay, Judge.
Sorry.
Thank you.
He's had 3 DWI seconds and now he has,
I understand, Judge.
my God, even more. Yeah, I'm not down with the PR bond on this guy. It just,
He currently does have the $100 PR bond.
they gave him a PR bond. He's got no bond on the felony DWI.
I will also request that the bond remain as is on this charge, on this judge.
I don't know. We'll revisit in a bit. I need to get through.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Judge,
Who's next?
next is page 13. Riddle bar, come on up.
Guys, don't send him down because I need homeboy to sign an affidavit. Yeah, Benjamin. So don't send him down yet, please. Is River Bar?
Yes, Judge. Page 13.
Morning, Miss River Bar. Ma'am, you were charged with assault, bodily injury. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On February 9th, 2025, the officer made contact with the complainant, who advised that she and her husband and friends were outside by their motor vehicle, hanging out, and the defendant was saying things to them about them being illegal. The complainant and the defendant started getting into a verbal argument, and the defendant started to attack the complainant while the defendant was holding her baby and was reaching around the baby trying to fight. The complainant advised she sustained injuries during the assault and was in pain and was in fear for her life. The officer observed the complainant to have scratches and whelps on her right arm.
Hate crime? Ms. Riverbark, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with these people and not to be in possession of any weapons. If I find that you're a danger to my public, and I don't care who it is, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond sky high. Do you understand? Do we know if alcohol played any kind of part in this?
There's no allegations of alcohol, Your Honor.
And filing those conditions, no contact, no going within 1,000 feet of where this person lives or
Yes, sir.
works, and then no weapons, please.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Riverbark, you have the ability to hire a lawyer. Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I will have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go, man.
This way. All right, Judge, next is page 14, Singleton, come on up.
All the ups and downs on.
Good morning, Ms. Singleton.
Good morning.
And you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. The officer was dispatched to an apartment complex on Dominion Park Drive and met with the complainant, who advised that the defendant is her roommate. The complainant stated the two had a verbal argument over rent, which led to the complainant gathering the defendant's personal belongings and throwing them outside of the residence and onto the ground. Approximately 100 feet from the front door, the defendant then walked towards the complainant and struck her on the face and torso with a closed fist, causing the complainant to lose balance and fall to the ground. The defendant continued to strike the complainant until the defendant's boyfriend pulled her away. The complainant advised she felt pain.
Singleton, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. It looks like a protective order was issued on the 8th of this month. I would get to know it because if you do something to violate the protective order, like go to the house that's listed in this thing, even if they give you permission, the state can and will file a violation of protective order. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand? You're also not to be in possession of weapons as well, ma'am. No contact, no weapons. Ma'am, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Okay, I'll-
I can.
I'm sorry.
I can.
You don't want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Thought I had one.
No. You have one during magistration just for that very purpose, but that it ends at that stage. It doesn't carry with you forever. So at this moment, you don't have a lawyer. Do you want one?
May I have a court appointed?
Okay, I have an application on file, Deputy Mayor. Don't worry.
Oh.
I have an application already on file. I will have you sign a Risa Victoria. Don't be a danger to my community because I only have one place for you if you are. Do you understand?
Sure.
You won't get another warning.
All right, Judge, next is page 15.
Can you file no contact, no weapons?
Come on up. And then sign, please.
Well, wait a minute.
Spicer.
Good morning, Ms. Spicer. You speak English?
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On February 8th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a maroon SUV driving on 4 flat tires, swerving with a female driving at Hickory Downs Drive. The officer located the motor vehicle with all 4 flat tires and observed the motor vehicle impeding the flow of traffic due to the condition of the vehicle. The officer observed the vehicle turn left and then right and initiated a traffic stop. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, watery bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and stumbling, with the defendant drinking 1 beer at 5 p.m. The officer conducted a standard field sobriety test, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, 1 leg stand, 1 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and declined to provide a sample. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Okay, any prior WIs?
No, Your Honor, and driver's license is eligible.
Got it. All right, Ms. Spicer, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You are, as of now, not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. It is a part of your bond condition, meaning that if you violate this condition, you will be arrested, you will go to jail, no more PR bonds. Do you understand? Ma'am, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Okay, I need you to fill out an application for me. I'll make sure, or I'll see whether you qualify. If you do, then I'll give you a lawyer today. Deputy Miranda will give you an application. I'll have you sign it with Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box, and then we'll get you with all the paperwork. Please.
All right, Judge, next is page 15 and 16. Taylor, Derek?
You were on bond for a theft case, and now you picked up another theft case. You now stand charged yet again with another theft. You're facing another 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 7th, 2025, the complainant observed the defendant trying on sunglasses in their store in the Galleria Mall. And after the defendant left the store, the complainant noticed the sunglasses were missing. The complainant then reviewed surveillance in which he was able to see the defendant putting the sunglasses in his front right pocket and leaving the store passing all points of sale. The complainant then flagged down an officer who was able to locate and detain the defendant. The defendant was wearing the sunglasses on his face and admitted to concealing them. The sunglasses were valued at $350.
Mr. Taylor, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now revoking your bond on the first case. Goes with you. Unacceptable. We will not continue to give you PR bonds. This is your 3rd one. No more. I will appoint you a lawyer today, but you're staying with me. No going to the Galleria at all. Was the prior theft at the Galleria as well?
It was at a CVS, Your Honor.
Okay. No going to any CVS's, and I don't want you at the Houston Galleria. Do you understand?
True.
If I find that I don't know if you're going to get out. You get out, you pick up a 3rd case, I'm going to go absolutely nuts on the bond. Do you understand? Goes with you.
All right, Judge, next is page 17. Williams, come on up.
$5,001 on the old, and then we'll leave the new one as is. I'm sorry, Vic, what was the last name?
Williams, on 17.
Mr. Williams, you were charged with assault of a family member. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 8th, 2025, the officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. The officer met with the complainant, who stated that she and the defendant were in a 7-month relationship. The complainant stated that she shoved the defendant with her shoulder and that the defendant then grabbed her and threw her around. The complainant advised that the defendant was grabbing her face and neck area and has pushed her to the ground, causing pain. The officer observed a laceration on the complainant's hand and a swollen lip. The officer made contact with the defendant, who stated that he lost control and that he admitted to shoving the complainant.
Williams, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. Do you understand? If you have contact with this person, if I find that you're in possession of a weapon, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I want my community safe. I don't care who it is, what color they are, whether they're a small farm animal, I don't care. Everyone gets protected. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Williams? Okay, I will take a look at an affidavit. I'll see whether you qualify, and then I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria now. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you understand? And then I'll have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily.
I work with her, so
I'm sorry?
she worked at the same.
That's going to be an issue. I don't want you to have contact with her. Actions have consequences. Do you have an arraignment? Do you have an arraignment?
Yes.
Okay, okay, come on.
On, Rashad husband?
Rashad husband, come on up. Do you mind filing those conditions on Williams?
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Husband. You were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On February 9th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an assist the officer call in regards to a shots fired at 1700 Travis Street. The defendant was detained because the officer observed an unidentified individual discharge a firearm, and the defendant was within that group of people. The defendant admitted to the officer that he had 2 ecstasy pills in his right front pocket and that there was an AR pistol in the SUV the defendant was driving. The officer completed a search of the defendant and located 2 methamphetamine pills in his front right pocket, and the defendant informed the officer that he was aware of the AR pistol in the SUV prior to him getting behind the wheel. The officer located the AR pistol on the floor in the second row of the SUV within reach of the driver. The substance was believed to be methamphetamine based on training experience with a weight of 0.61 grams.
Husband, I'm going to find that there's probable cause. Wait a second. He says that the AR is his?
He says he was aware that it was in the vehicle and it was within his reach in the vehicle.
Whose vehicle is it?
I don't believe it says in the DMs, it says he was driving the vehicle.
How do you put it on him?
Allow me to read the full DMs, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. He says that he was driving, so it would be that he was in care custody control because he was operating the vehicle with knowledge that the firearm was in there and it was within his reach, his ability to grab the firearm.
Diego Camacho?
Not, how do we know that how do we know that it was in there while he was driving? How do we know that they didn't put in there after the fact?
The
You know?
defendant stated that he was aware that the AR pistol was in the vehicle before he got into the driver's seat, before he started driving.
No, it just said that he was aware.
Okay.
Don't add stuff in.
I'll read the complete dim.
Read it.
It says the dim states completely that the defendant informed the affiant, the officer, he was aware the AR pistol was in the SUV prior to him getting behind the wheel, and the defendant informed the officer that the AR pistol could be found in the SUV at the time of his arrest.
Are we to assume that it's his? All he says that he knew that it was in there. You know, it's not his car.
In your honor, just as cited, we're just, the pleading is that it was on or about his person. So we're just saying he was in his possession because it was in the vehicle he was operating with knowledge that the AR was in the vehicle as well as it being within
Do you
arm's
even know
reach.
when he was operating the vehicle?
I apologize. What do you mean when he was operating?
Was he operating it in the morning, in the afternoon, at 9 o'clock at night? When did all this transpire? What time of day is this?
Let me see, your honor, because based on the dims that I see, it appears that
There's a group of people.
it appears
right?
that the defendant was, according to the dims, the defendant was found to be at the wheel of a black GMC. So when the officer arrived, he was observed within the vehicle from what the officer says.
Was in the car at the time
At
the
the
cops
time.
get there.
From what the officer says, that he was observed behind the wheel of the vehicle. To be at the wheel of the black GMC Suburban bearing a license plate number that is in the dim. So it,
Okay. All right. Mr. Husband, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I mean, we take it seriously. I want to make sure if there's enough probable cause that that's, you know. So I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? If I find that you're a danger to my public, I only have one place for you. So don't. That includes everything. Do you understand, Mr. Husband? You mind filing no weapons, please?
Yes, Judge.
You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them. If they stand. You will be signing a promise with me. This is an affidavit that you're not going to drive. And I hope that you heed this warning because I take it absolutely seriously. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if it's a burning building. You have to go save 50 kids. Don't drive. Shoot.
There was another firearm in my vehicle. It was a rifle. Do I have the right to?
You need a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice. The only thing I'm telling you is I don't want you in possession of any weapons. So don't, because I'm going to put you in jail if I find that you violate these conditions. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? A lawyer can answer all these questions for you. I'm just not allowed to give you legal advice. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir? So what I'll have you do is I'll have you fill out an application. Let me take a look at it to see whether you qualify. And if you do, then I'll give you a lawyer. But above all else, do not drive. All right, I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I'm gonna get you to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions as well.
That's CJ.
No, he's filling out an application. So do you mind finding the weapons and
Yes, Judge.
the driving, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Judge, next is page 18. Wilfred, come on up.
Good morning, Mr. Wilson. Sir, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Okay. On February 6th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an assault in progress at Provision High School. And one moment, Your Honor. And observed 15 to 20 students fighting each other and struggling with staff members and security guards. The officer detained a number of students, and after the scene had mostly calmed down, a female was struggling and fighting against the male students to run out onto the gym floor and rejoin the fight. And furthermore, the officer approached the group of males who told the males to put the female students behind her back. And as the officer got closer, the defendant turned towards the officer, put his arms up to stop the officer's progress towards the female, and said, "No, no, no." The officer grabbed the defendant's shirt and told him not to interfere and that he would be taken to jail. The defendant replied, "I will," and remained in the officer's path. The officer handcuffed the defendant, ordered the defendant to get on the ground, began pushing the defendant towards the ground, and told him to get on the ground again. The defendant remained on his knees, pushing up against being pushed, and the officer pushed the defendant down towards the wall, and the defendant pushed up again, causing the officer to fall to the ground.
The officer couldn't walk around him? Really? Mr. Wilson, I am going to find that there's probable cause to go forward to the case. Life's hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder, man. Really. How old are you? You're 18? Are you still in high school? Let me give you a lawyer. We'll try to work things out for you. Just when you get into a pissing match with someone who has a power of arrest, who's going to win? You know what I mean? I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria. I'll have you take a seat. Let me find you a lawyer, okay? Come on.
All right, Judge, next is page 9 and 10. Long, come on up.
I'm not putting any, hey, I'm not putting any conditions on it.
Oh.
Did you say page 10?
And 9 and 10.
Okay. Are you Blake Long? Mr. Long, you're charged in 2 cases. You're charged with possession of marijuana. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to 6 months in jail on the weed case, and you're facing up to a year on the gun case. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 8th, 2025, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle driving west on Sam Houston. and ran the Texas license plate of the vehicle through NCIC, TCIC. The officer found a return came back with the registration expired as of September 2024. A traffic stop was then initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant. The officer observed a strong odor of marijuana and could see a green leafy substance in a pocket behind the passenger seat. The green leafy substance was in a clear glass jar, and the defendant stated he was driving to his grandmother's house and stated he had just smoked. The defendant stated there was marijuana in the back seat within arm's reach and that the marijuana was for his grandmother. The defendant further stated there was a 9mm handgun inside the middle console area, not registered to him. The officer searched the motor vehicle and located the glass jar containing a clear bag with green leafy substance in the center console area and the 9mm handgun inside the middle console. The substance was believed to be marijuana based on training experience with a weight of 12.1 grams.
Mr. Long, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Can you run his license, please?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you also have liability insurance. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is a bond condition of yours as well. Do not pick up any new cases. I don't want you in possession of any weapons at this time.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application to see whether you qualify. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll have you sign the bond conditions and I'll have you meet with a lawyer here momentarily. Okay,
Judge,
please.
was that state sponsored?
States, yeah.
All right, Judge, next is page 11. Nickish? Come on up. Hold on 1 second. Okay, you sign it, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Mickish. So you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On August 1st, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance call, and upon arrival, the complainant and security staff stated that the defendant made threats to kill everyone, broke 2 hospital monitors, and was acting aggressive towards the medical staff. The complainant stated the medical staff became scared since the defendant stated, "I will kill you all." The complainant stated she was scared for her life since she did not know what the defendant would do next at that moment.
That doesn't sound right, because I didn't do that.
Give you a lawyer and we can go through this with the lawyer. So did he direct it at a person? Is he directing at the entire world? What?
The statement was only made that "I will kill you all." And it says the complainant stated the medical staff became scared, and the statement was that "I will kill you all." That's all we have from the DMs, Your Honor. And then furthermore, the complainant did state she was the only one at the hospital at the time of the officer's arrival, since the rest of the medical staff had gone through a shift change and she was the only one there. So it's not exactly clear who was there when the statement was made. He just said, "I will kill you all."
All right, so who's it directed to? Just.
I don't even know that.
The DMs does state that the defendant started to act aggressive towards the medical staff.
And
So
I think that's why she was scared, right?
it appears that because the follow on saying the defendant was, the complainant said she was scared and the medical staff was scared since he stated, "I will kill you all." So it appears that it was directed towards the medical staff as he was acting aggressive towards the medical staff.
It appears.
Because there's just two distinct,
Hunch.
there's 2 distinct sentences, Your Honor, where he acted aggressive towards the medical staff and the complainant stated the medical staff became scared since the defendant stated, "I will kill you all."
I thought I already did time for that too.
Mr. Mickish, I'm going to find that there's no probable cause to go forward with your case, but you need to be careful.
Yeah.
Scaring people can kind of hurt them. You know what I mean?
Your Honor, I don't.
Look, don't. Mr. Mickish, patience goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, when you get upset and when you lose control, that's why we have so many people in jail, because they lose control. They do whatever they want to do. And they end up, they don't think, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen? Be careful, all right? All right, just hang tight for me in the back.
All right, Judge, next is page, go ahead, page 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Olivo,
MICK.
Olivo, come on up.
Yes.
Ah, that's why you were waiting, the interpreter.
Yes. Hola, buenas tardes.
Is it Olivio or Olivo? Olivo. Olivo. Mr. Olivo, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You are also charged with interference with the emergency request for assistance. On both of those cases, you were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 8th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance call. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that she and the defendant are married. The complainant stated that the defendant was trying to forcefully take her phone. The complainant stated that if he did not stop, she would call 911. When calling 911, the defendant grabbed and squeezed the complainant by the wrist, causing pain. The complainant stated that the defendant then took her phone.
Okay. Mr. Olivio, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. On the assault case, it appears that a protective order has been issued. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and probably will file additional charges of violation of a protective order against you. It is one of the worst cases that you can pick up. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until the case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. Do not violate any of the conditions that we put forth, otherwise I will put you in jail. And if you're unlucky enough, you could be there for an extremely long time. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do we know if Alex is no contact has been ordered by the magistrate? Do you know?
I do not know, Your Honor. I can check.
And do you know?
So we haven't been able to get a hold of the complainant, but we would still request no contact, Your Honor.
But the rip has not been done.
No, it was attempted this morning, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't know whether the complaining witness wants to have contact with you. Until I know, because I want to honor her wishes, I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes.
Things may change later on, but for now, just don't have contact with this person. Don't have any weapons and you will be fine with us. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. So you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're gone and you're not responding to phone calls or text messages, or you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. For now, I will have you sign a receipt with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next judge is also on page 1, a head case.
It is 2550950. Okay.
No más sospechosos. She looked at it now. I got some really She did.
How many amendments?
Well, she did all of the violations before she left.
Okay, great.
So at this point, I don't know that I'm going to necessarily need you. I have to move everything.
Okay.
I'm sure Victoria, I do other times. Yes.
I'm leaving that.
Okay.
Just.
Goal is well before that.
I vote for myself today. Which folks in the back?
And if they still have a problem with it, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I want to break it down. She doing this?
She would deny it. Well, I'm glad we can.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, she would. No, I don't think there's any.
Yes.
I know that's.
I didn't even look at that. I mean, so, you know, this is my.
Yeah, this is my. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. Mr. Ajete, you were charged with liquor sale without a permit. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You are on bond for the same case. You've not picked up another case. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 7th, 2025, the officers conducted an undercover vice investigation at a club known as Poppy's for operating illegally by selling alcohol without a permit and during prohibited hours. TABC confirmed that the establishment does not have a permit, and the undercover officer observed the defendant working as a bartender. The officer was able to purchase and order a vodka drink. After the officer gave him money, the defendant began to prepare the beverage.
So he's working after hours, you saying?
Yes, Judge. And he was also working at an establishment that does not have a permit.
All right, Mr. Ajete, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I ask you to do one thing, not to pick up any new cases. This is now your third of the same case. I am now revoking your bond and I'm putting you in jail. Goes with you. 5,003. It goes with you. Sorry, counsel, I can't just let it happen.
I
It's just
understand.
over and over and over.
The
At some point, he'll
was
get it.
dismissed.
Hmm?
The first one was dismissed.
I understand, but he's on bond for one, and now he picks up another one. So we're still over and over and over. At some point, you're gonna get in life, when you do the wrong things, there are consequences. And I can't continue to let it happen. He goes with you.
So
Yeah, just the old, so I'll leave the new case as is. The bond is at $500. On the case where, on the old case, I'll 5,000 and do 5,000. Yeah, 5,002.
Okay.
He will pop up probably on Monday's docket unless he bonds out. I don't know. So if you want to pop on by Monday, we can talk about it and see where we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks.
Taylor, and he took in, he was already at 2501. Do you want to leave it 5,000?
Yeah, 5,001.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Vic,
That's it for now. We
Oh.
have a couple of arrangements with our attorney.
got it. Okay, Mr. Downey. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
We have Brittany DeFrawi on the docket on Monday, Judge. That setting date is to come in and tell you about the status of the felony case. We're prepared to do that. I was just hoping that we could agree to waive the client's appearance as it's a status conference. She was just trying to let her job know whether she needed to take the day off.
Are we doing anything significant? What are we doing?
No, we were just coming in to tell you the status of the felony case. She's been testing, of course, every week and has continued to test normally. And the family law case continues to wend its way forward. We're set in the felony case in, I think, on March 14th. And we have issued discovery specific discovery motion to Avertest. We've discovered some significant anomalies in how they're reporting their data. We've hired the former head of the Houston Forensic Sciences Division, who has indicated that their testing protocols are very questionable.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll waive it for you then.
Yes, sir, no problem. We'll be there Monday.
Okay, see you then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
For the first arrest, yes.
Oh.
We put this inside of everything. Yours? Yeah. Signs from the front, all those things, when I was trying to professionals, we facing going. Let's see better. Something. And you just think the record is all like. Raise your hand. Your name's Blake Long? Yes, sir. Is your name Fred? Yes, sir. I can see that in three, right? Yeah. Raise your hand.
Lisa, everybody?
Yes, sir. You sound something, all the information documents, and that's the question about. Yes, sir. Is it signature right? Yes, sir. I do have to see that in the.
Judge, did you get your goodie bag?
Oh, thanks. No, I haven't seen it.
I'm just signing one, for instance, on the other date, when this says the pretrial, so she can follow up with the but one came to them to. This is like system of the factory with the facility or conditions. This is the most important, it's the March 17, let's be facility. He just has 2 faces, so I think it's so.
Community, Amazon's, actually.
Last name is Heath.
Hey, Ariel, they're doing that right now. What is going on with her? I don't like it. This is not supposed to
So I had a little bit.
Hi,
Thanks, how are you?
ready?
Yes, sir. Well, no.
Oh, I guess let me,
What's your bad?
good morning. You are Mr. Sands, right?
Sir.
Mr. Sands, you're charged with criminal trespass. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated. I'm sorry, not to be probated, with 67 days in jail to give you credit for.
So,
And it looks like you also have a terroristic threat. It looks like they're going to dismiss this case as a result of this plea bargain.
so,
Is that how you understand it?
so,
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement.
sir,
You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal. Is this what you want to do?
so,
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
yes. I guess,
I'm sorry?
I guess it.
Guilty to the criminal trespass that we talked about. You're pleading guilty to the criminal trespass. Do you understand? And they're dismissing the terroristic that, so they're not. That's the tell the judge that.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Are you guilty of the criminal trespass?
Sir.
Okay. You know what we're doing, right? That it's going to go on your record. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail, all right? If you go back to, where was it, Alex?
Your Honor.
Time rise.
The trespass was at a McDonald's, Your Honor.
If you go back to this McDonald's, you will end up going back to jail. So you can't go back to this McDonald's, all right? Okay, sir. Good luck. Thanks. Ms. Jewett,
Yes.
is Mr. Craig here? Deputy Miranda, I need your help. I don't know what more of no tolerance you don't get. Your device has been dead.
So Judge, I don't think it was low and then it went dead for, I think, a couple of days, but he didn't receive. Well, I understand that, Judge, but he didn't receive, I guess the device supposed to send something.
You know when you're supposed to charge the device. You know.
I think it gives you a notice or something that is dying out. And so it didn't give him notice. So he went to pretrial service to have him check it out to find out what was going on with it. But he's been on bond for a very long period of time with no issues whatsoever.
That doesn't give you the justification to do what you're doing.
Just a thing. Yes. Judge, I will say that I contacted the device people over at 49, whenever he reported yesterday. They stated that
He only reported yesterday.
yes, we observed.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Well, no, Judge, he reported because I told him that the device, that this was filed. That's the only reason why he reported over there.
The only reason he cared enough to go was because you told him he had to come to court. Otherwise, it would still be dead. It would still be non-functional.
I don't think that's the case, Judge, because it's been functional the entire time that he's had the device. So this is not he's been out for 2 months and the device has not been functioning. That's not it. This was just filed 2 days ago.
Because I wanted to take care of it now. And the reason is that he's on probation for a violation of protective order, picks up an assault of a pregnant person, and then picks up another assault of the same person. And he has another assault dismissed, and they're all the same person. And I told you that there was no tolerance in these cases. And I have here that you have a dead battery since 2/10 of, how long was the battery dead?
According to the viewer, I believe it started on the 10th, and then whenever he reported for.
Yes, Judge, that's what I'm saying.
Reported for inspection, we found no issues with the device itself or the charger.
I'm revoking your bond. You go to jail. I'm sorry. Bond conditions, bond conditions. There's no justification, right? 3 open cases. I've repeatedly told you, no tolerance, and you're just doing whatever you want to do. You're not charging it. Goes dead. So does the bond.
Judge, it went dead on the 10th, and he immediately went in to go have it checked out because
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. 2 days later, because you said you got to come to court, it's probably a good idea for you to go get it checked out.
That's not how it happened, Judge.
Tell me.
When I got the email, I said, hey, there's an issue possibly with your device. He said, I got no notification whatsoever that it was dead. So I will go down there and check it out to see what's going on. I didn't tell him about a court date because I didn't know about the court date at the time. I got the motion first. Then your letter came after the fact. So he went on his own to have it checked out. So if you look at the records, I mean, he's been out for a while and this just happened. 2 days, that's it, Judge.
They tell you that you're supposed to charge this thing on a daily basis. They tell you that you need to put it by the charger every day for a specific amount of time. And if you don't, the battery goes dead. So you know what you're supposed to do.
I understand that, Judge, but also if the court remembers that he is also keeping a newborn baby, so maybe he put it in.
That's.
And he was tired. I mean, I don't know.
It's been dead for 2 days.
It's only been dead for 1 day, I believe, Judge, because he went on the 11th, I believe. Today's the 14th.
No, she said yesterday he went. Today's the 14th. That's the
Today's
13th.
14th, I'm sorry, that was the 12th. I don't know why I thought it was the 13th.
So when did he go?
The 12th.
No, the battery goes dead on the 12th. When did he go to pretrial?
He went to pretrial on the 12th, Judge. His battery went dead on the 10th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, battery goes dead on the 10th. Goes to pretrial on the 12th. So he's without a device 2 days. I'm sorry. Goes with you. Just not getting it. I don't know what to tell you, Ms. Jewett, right? There's just no justification. I have 4 kids, you know, it'll take me 2 minutes to put them in front of an iPad for me to go do what I need to do, to go wash the dishes, to go take the dog out, to change the litter.
Well, I understand, Judge, but I mean,
There's no excuse. You've got 3 open, very serious cases. And I told him at the outset of when you picked up the last violation protective order, there's no talk. I mean, you must comply strictly. And he's just not doing it.
just gonna just reset it for reconsideration on this bond, maybe 2 weeks, a month.
So here's the deal. You were right. These cases are ripe. They're old. And it's time to do something with them because the thing is, and what I've experienced is that when we take too long with cases, something invariably happens. You know, cases should only last so long because certain people need certain things. And when they're not getting it, they tend to fall in familiar habits. So these are too ripe. Let me see how old these are.
And if you remember, this case was actually transferred over to the
ERD?
yes.
Right. Now I'm gonna keep it now, just because it's, yeah, just too much drama. So the violation case is 256 days old. The new violation case is 136 days old. Is discovery complete in both cases, please?
Yes, one from, sorry, his last name.
Newest case is discovery complete.
Correct.
Yes, and Judge, if you remember, you may not remember, but this is the case where the wife is saying that what occurred is not really what occurred. Remember, this is the toxic case.
And Judge, either way, discovery is complete on the case.
Okay. Do you have an offer on these cases?
On the most recent VPO, there is not, let me see if,
Can you please put an offer so we can,
I'll let DVD know that you're requesting that they put an offer on. Yes, Judge.
and is there an offer on the felony case?
On the felony case, Your Honor, let me see. There is not, Your Honor.
Because the problem, Judge, is they were supposed to be working on the fact that the wife came to court and told the prosecutor she's not participating. So they were gonna reeval. That was 2 months ago.
If I may, they did offer him a 2-year deferred upstairs.
Oh, they did?
Yes, Judge, it's just in the notes, not in the actual, they're having a conversation about going back and forth with the defense attorney on that case.
Okay.
To see what they want to do.
So you're set up there 2/28, okay? We can set the day after if you'd like.
That's fine.
Okay, and then what I would suggest is when we come back, it's, plea or trial time. So we can just put these babies to bed once and for all. And perhaps the felony court will, you guys can make a global resolution. I don't know, but if I don't do what I'm doing now, I'm enabling. And I'm saying it's okay for you to do what you're doing without any consequence. And it's not. He has to understand that there's consequence. This is the 4th time, it's over and it's over and it's over and I can't. And I understand that you have to zealously advocate and I'm not begrudging you for doing it, right? Certainly not, of course not. But I can't continue to enable it, So, okay, you got it.
Which case is Jacob revoking?
I'm revoking both VPOs and I guess 10,000 and 1, 2, 3, 10,000 and 4 on each.
Okay.
On both. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to give you an update on Heath, DeAndre. We found, the court found no probable cause yesterday. It was, UCW Defense of Others outside.
I see. Yeah.
I haven't made a decision on what I'm gonna do. He is on bond for burglary of a habitation for juvenile.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I'm speaking to juvenile, seeing if they're gonna do anything with his bonds on that one.
I've already found, so there's nothing I can really do.
Yeah, no,
I don't have jurisdiction anymore.
I just wanted
So
to give you an update because it was back on schedule today. So
We need to do something. So either if you're gonna try to go get indicted, you gotta go get indicted. Otherwise, you know, 'cause we can't just keep it open forever.
Yes, Judge. I'm just trying to hear back from juvenile and
Yeah,
see.
yeah, sure.
Kelsey and I, we put all of the no PCs on the last Monday of the month. And then we let them know all the updates and.
Okay, cool.
So
Hey, that's a really good plan, you know?
Right, so the day before, I'll email Kelsey all the no PCs and ask for an update, and then by Monday.
Because then you're lost.
Yeah, that's why.
Judge, can you sign
Track
that?
of all.
I think it's this one.
Making, okay. Okay.
That one I did all.
Every once in a while, you got a good idea, right?
They're in there, they're in there.
Hi. Hey.
Since again on Mr. Benjamin Raymond, I did look a little bit, his bond was revoked upstairs in felony. No,
Mind bringing up Mr. Benjamin, please?
Judge, can you sign the dismissal for McKeish?
I don't have it.
It's in there.
Okay, done.
McKeish. Also, Judge, yesterday I filed a bail release instructions on Musgrove.
I signed it.
Oh, you signed it? Okay, I just wanted to let you know, I filed the jail release instructions because I spoke with Brad Morris and he said, once you sign the jail release instructions, he would dismiss it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
That was on who?
That was on Musgrove.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, he was on docket yesterday.
The state did file, disclosure brief, but it's. Here you go. Thank you, sir.
Morning, Mr. Benjamin. You were charged with driving while your license is suspended. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
It's Judge. On February 3rd, 2025, at 11:40 a.m., the officer ran a license plate search on a vehicle and found the vehicle to have expired registration. A traffic stop was then initiated. The officer notified the defendant for the reason of the stop and asked for the defendant's driver's license. The defendant provided a Texas ID that did not belong to him, and the officer asked for a name and date of birth. A search of the information provided showed the defendant's driver's license to be ineligible, and the vehicle also did not have valid insurance. And the officer did a person search on the defendant and found the defendant had a bond condition for an ignition interlock device, and that the vehicle did not have the interlock. The vehicle is registered to the defendant.
Johnson?
Let's go through your stuff. And I'm just from 2009. DWI, possession of a controlled substance, robbery, theft, possession of a controlled substance, felony theft, felony theft. Here's my concern. 2018, DWI second. 2019, DWI second. 2019, possession of a controlled substance. Further in the year, DWI second. Possession of a controlled substance, and now another DWI, and now driving on a suspended license. I don't know if you watch the news. Every single day, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision in our county. Every single day. Watch the news. It's really, really unfortunate when A button on a phone and $30 on an Uber will get you to anywhere you want to go in this damn county. Don't matter where you want to go. It's a geographical oddity. It's so easy to just hit one button. I don't know what we need to get through to you, Mr. Benjamin, but I don't know if you're going to bond out. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. And I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. Every single time you get behind the wheel, you can be facing 6 months in jail and up to 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine. Do you understand? Do not drive. It's really scary what happens every single day in our county, and it's so tragic. Don't drive.
Williams.
This is the promise that you're going to make to me. All I'm begging you to do is don't kill someone. Please, don't kill someone. You're being held at no bond on your DWI third upstairs as it is. And I don't know, right now they gave you a PR bond in this case, and I don't know if that's appropriate because you scare me. You just, according to this, I find by clear and convincing evidence that you just refuse to comply with bond conditions. So I don't know if I'm going to give him a PR bond. You know, he's driving a car here. He's supposed to have an interlock. He doesn't have one. And so I don't know. So for now, I'm going to have you sign the affidavit. It is a part of your bond condition. Don't be a danger to my county. Otherwise, I will make your bond very, very high. Do you understand? Get a clue, Mr. Benjamin. It's not hard. Come on.
Singleton.
Hi. Yes, ma'am.
Do you allow a walkthrough for me? No? Okay, thank you. I just
Sorry.
had to ask.
I know.
Council for reset?
Yes. Can I reset
Husband?
Norman?
Hey,
Morning, Judge.
Tina, what's up, man? How are you?
Bill, a new case, I think the state might dismiss it, but if not, we're gonna approach to see.
Yeah.
Doing good, like soon. Thank you.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, you got
I was waiting for.
No, no worries.
All good.
I was waiting for
Yeah, anytime you guys try to put in it as best as you can. So yes, again, you have a question to that. Just follow. I know sometimes I've been shocked.
Yeah.
And then with that, I would just say, make sure, and that's just everything, so we know the cost of them, or just compliance. Same here about the worst proceedings, yeah.
No.
Well, yes,
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Okay.
Sorry, someone had to sign these times, and then I'll put all their paperwork and then open it to the.
Morning, Judge, can we approach? Morning, Judge.
Hi, guys.
Have John Williams on docket, Judge.
Okay. Did you get appointed, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. I wanted you to look at probable cause to see if you guys had any issues with it. That's why, or wait, no, maybe that was another case. Okay, tell me.
We were approaching, there's a MOEP and bond conditions that have no contact. The parties no longer live together, but they work at the same place, and there's a chance that their schedules could coincide with each other. State's okay with no threatening and harassing, but.
Have you reached out to the complaining witness? Do you
Yes,
know?
so, I mean, she's not on board, regardless, but I confirmed that they don't live together, so my suggestion was to have no threatening or harassing, that way both of them can work.
But I want to
but
make sure that
keep the
she's, protected, that she doesn't have any kind of fear.
Yeah, she's not really concerned, from my understanding, but, I would suggest, just keeping the residency restrictions so that, because they don't live together,
Mr. Williams, come up.
and then just, keep the no threatening or harassing contact for that purpose.
Good morning. So your lawyers asked for me to modify your bond conditions to say no threatening or harassing. I will acquiesce, but you have to understand what is threatening or harassing. Doesn't matter what you think. It's what she perceives. So if I'm going like this, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is, and it can get you in trouble. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with this person, but if it's the type where you're constantly butting heads, you got to be careful. There are many, many vindictive people in this world, and you never know if all they got to do is call, hey man, he's doing this, he's doing that, and then you're going to end up back. So you got to be careful. You understand? Okay. So the only thing I'm doing is I'm modifying the conditions. So no threatening or harassing contact. The residential restriction will still apply. So you cannot go to the house listed in the order for protection. Any more questions, anything?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Good luck.
Judge, do you want me to refile that? Because I know the language that's typically in there.
Yeah, I would, just in case. So it's like nice and clean. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll file that now. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, and no weapons too.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi. How are you, man?
Judge, this is Killian Fernandez. She had fallen off the radar, Judge. We sent her a letter, but she's here now. She's on PTI, and all she needs to do is do a cognitive skills class.
She on bond or what happened?
Yes, sir.
Did she just post bond again or something? Or what happened?
Yes, Judge.
Come up, ma'am.
Page 5.
This is your second PR bond. If it happens, do you speak English, ma'am? Oh, well, we need a translator. All right, tome asiento, por favor.
Spicer?
Would you have a PTI agreement?
We do, we have a PTI agreement and everything, Judge, but we need to, it was only for 90 days. It was given to us back in October 8th. So the 90 days are up. I need to get it, see if I can get it extended, so.
And I'm gonna tell you now, the case is, let me see, I mean, it's like a year and a half old, so what does she have to do?
A cognitive skills class.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, it's 250 days, so I'll set it out a week, you know, for her to get it done.
Yes, sir.
And then if she doesn't have it done, I'm setting her for trial.
Well, the thing is that the 90 days are up, so I want to make sure that, you know, she's still on PTI.
Yana, are you still good with it? Fernandez.
What we're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Fernandez is the last name.
And it's just gonna be us. If you have any questions for us in the future, you can call me. Yeah.
So Venus, what's up, man?
What's first appearance?
What's new, man?
Nothing. Same old, same old.
Always a pleasure.
Going on with you?
You still in the baseball gig or what?
Yeah, we just started at our first game.
Are you coaching or?
Assistant this season. Yeah.
It's a lot of work, man.
And 10 seasons is
Wow, that's great. Good job, man. Because it's not an easy life on top of all the other stuff that you have to do. And
oh yeah.
and then managing kids in and of itself is like,
That is not,
no,
it's not easy.
no, that you're a good man. Good job, really.
How are you doing?
You know, it's okay. We're happy to have you. Whenever you're around, we're, you know.
I'm gonna hop back in line.
So, Antonio, are you still good?
They're changing it from a cognitive skills class to an anti-theft class, which I think is better, because
Yeah, that's a good call. I think so too.
And I gave him 3 days, so Monday.
Oh, okay. So let me just admonish her real quick. Let me get the translator here. We'll admonish her and then, yeah. Okay, okay. And it shouldn't be hard, you know, it's no long class. All right, coming up, counsel. Good morning.
Morning.
Who you here?
I'm here with Rick Anderson Herrera, just told you guys questions on PC.
yeah.
Yeah, have you gone through the facts? Have you gone through the facts? Okay. I don't remember, just because we've had so many cases. Will you refresh my memory on Mr. Anderson?
Yes, sure.
Or Mr. Herrera, sorry. I thought that PC was kind of shaky, and so that's why I wanted to appoint a lawyer to see what arguments you may or may not have.
On February 6, 2025, an officer was notified by a witness that a former student, the defendant, was
Oh, that's
inside
right.
Spring High School. The defendant was unenrolled from the school by the associate principal.
Wait. You just said in Spring High School.
Yes, I spoke to the officer to get a better picture of where he was on the campus. He walked through a gate. He was never inside the school itself, but he walked through gates to be on the property of the school.
I mean, is he on the sidewalk?
I have it on Google Maps if I can show you where he went.
Okay, yeah, come on.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that it's pretty shaky and my client has,
So it was here, walk through this gate, get through here to go into these parking lots, to go around here. And then this is good for here.
Did you see?
20 years since I've done that, but.
Take a look so you can see exactly where she's talking about. I mean, he's like,
Also, you said he went through here. Parking lot. And then this is here where.
He was told not to come back by the principal and officers on scene, and he came back to the property, walked through a gate.
it's my understanding that he was told not to come back to the school as a student. I don't think he had entered the property yet. He was basically.
so interesting. Don't come back as a student. Does that mean you can come back as a civilian?
And so where does he go if he has questions about a charter school that he's about to go to? This is the place where he kind of naturally thought that he would go to make such inquiries, and he's
Yeah.
standing out there cautiously not entering the building.
Okay, understood.
All right.
So just no
But
PC
I
on the
will
criminal,
now admonish him, don't go near.
but just no PC on the criminal trespass. What about the evading?
Was it fruit?
Yes, sir.
It's Friday.
Man, I want to go see my Marvel movie. Yeah, I mean, the reviews are bad too. I shouldn't say that. I mean, all right, I'm gonna find a PC.
Judge, may we,
Do you have something else that you want to add?
No, Judge, just, can we just admonish him not to go?
Yes, all right.
Or as a person?
Come up. Don't go back. I'm gonna find no probable cause on both your cases now, but look, you know that they don't want you back. Don't go back as a student, as a person.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
They've got eyes on you, so you go back over there, it's just gonna end up in a bad way, right? You're on notice now, so even going near the property, it's not gonna end well. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man, good luck.
Judge, was that no PC on both?
Yeah.
Judge, right, reading, I need you to have one attorney that needs to.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Come on. Hey, Joe, can I just do this roll call?
Corporation.
What was his last name again?
Herrera.
Correct.
On page 6 and 7. Be allowed to go back at the corporation.
Shush. Shush. All right, Ms. Fernandez, you have been given 2 PR bonds and your case is nearly 250 days old. They are still allowing you to take this plea bargain agreement where if you complete a class, your case will be dismissed. They are giving you only until Monday. So what we will do is we will reset your case until then. If it's not done, we will have to go another route. If you ever miss court again, you will not get any more PR bonds. That will be the 3rd time that you have failed to appear for court and it will not go well. Do you understand? You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with the lawyer and they can always get a hold of us, but there's no excuse. No tolerance anymore. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Venus.
Hey, Judge, we've got Ramiro Lozano, it's a first appearance.
Okay. Mr. Lozano, come on up.
Rear-end accident on 59.
Okay.
Take it, man. He doesn't get prior.
Any prior DWIs?
I don't believe he's got any priors of any kind. No.
Good morning, Mr. Lozano. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 7th, 2025, at approximately 10:08 p.m., the officer was dispatched to a major crash on the 200 block of South US 50 freeway in Harris County, Texas. The officer met with other officers at the nearby gas station where they had moved the scene. The wheel witness stated she was rear-ended by the defendant and was able to put the defendant behind the wheel of the vehicle. The officer observed front-end damage to the defendant's vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and occupant of the vehicle. The officer observed slurred speech, staggering, and disorientation and confusion. The standard fields of writings were conducted, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant stated he did not drink any alcohol that day, and the defendant was read the DIC and refused to provide a breath specimen. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Williams?
The judge sounds like there's no probable cause because US 50 is not in Harris County, Texas. It's what the road they said it happened on.
Where is it?
It said US 50, that's not in Harris County.
And the DIMS does say 200 block of South US.
Are you serious?
It says-
Do I need to look it up? I don't know.
Your Honor, the DIMS further says during the scene of the accident, which occurred on 200 block of South US 59 freeway, Harris County, Texas. But counsel is correct that before they said he responded to a major crash call for service on the 200 block of South US 50 freeway. So they put 50, but then later in the DMs, they just put 59. So they're just two addresses, so don't know why that's there. But they did say the accident occurred on US 59.
Well, that would be a different story.
Do you have any other evidence that is pointing to that it's at 59 or it's at 50?
So, Your Honor, the only thing we have is that statement from the officer, which states that the accident occurred on 200 block of US 59 in Houston, Texas, 77004.
Is that what really happened or was it on 50?
So that's what I can explain is the officer put.
I'm not working on hunches here, man.
And I understand, Your Honor. The officer initially said he responded to a crash call for service, which occurred on US 50, but then later said the accident occurred on 59. So let me see if we
definitively point
guess
where it is.
I'll check the OR and see if they clarify in the complete OR. And in the OR as well, the officer says, which occurred on 200 block of US 50, Houston, Texas, 77004.
So is 50, it's not in Harris County?
He switches between 50 and 59 in the offense report, Chief.
I know probable cause.
Yes, Judge, and we understand.
All right, Joe.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lozano, be careful out there. You know what I mean? Really. Just listen to, he's great. He'll help you out whenever you need, you know? All right, man. Good luck.
Excuse, Judge. All right, I'll meet you in the hallway. Okay.
Hey, come on.
Morning, Judge. Approaching on Mr. Lázaro Echemedia, ECH.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to change something. Okay, is he here?
He's here. Yes, Judge. He was, where is he? Oh, he's right there.
Oh, do you need a translator?
Do we need to talk to him? I'm only approaching because he's, the case is 108 days old.
I don't even have you listed as a lawyer.
I was appointed today.
Okay.
He's specifically on docket just to appoint. That's what the note.
Oh, that's right. I mean, we've done conditions. I remember him. We've done conditions and, right?
A while ago.
I saw the conditions. He showed me the copy of the conditions. He's supposed to report to 49 San Jacinto today.
210, you did bond conditions.
Okay, no manejes. No manejes. All right? Okay, all right, you good.
Okay.
Okay, tome asiento, por favor.
How long of a reset, Judge?
So the case is 180 days, so we'll give you a normal setting.
Okay.
But at the time, you got to come back and let us know what you guys want to do.
Understood.
Is discovery complete, Alex?
Oh, no.
Echemendia.
I apologize. How do you spell that?
Yes, it's
Okay,
complete,
okay.
Judge.
Okay,
Sorry.
so discovery is complete. Please release everything to Ricardo so he can get it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then 30 days, let us know what you want to do.
Figured out.
Yeah.
Mr. Laredo, you should have everything.
Oh,
I just
okay.
did the recall last night. I didn't mention.
Judge, can you sign that affidavit for Blake? It's the paper affidavit.
Oh,
All right, okay, I'll figure it out.
Mr. Long, come on up. I don't think you qualify for an appointed lawyer, man. You just make too much money, you know, really. Do you have any children?
I have two children I put on there, 2 and 1. The only income for the household.
You married?
No, sir.
Do you get support for the children?
No, sir.
All right, I'll grant it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anybody else? I'm gonna run to court 3 real quick. Bueller.
So is it?
Hey, will you let her know?
Yes.
I'm trying to. Respond yet. Respond.
It's in the here.
The regular lease that was about to George, house 19 and 20. Required appearance because of the case. They say discovery was complete. Okay, so then it's time to give out. For you.
Yes.
You're doing the color of the site.
Sure.
That writing was just Thank you, correct name. What'd you call me? Oh, Ricardo, what's your phone number?
85.
Did you say it wrong? Yes, you said it wrong. You said Felicia. English or Spanish? That's funny because my last name looks like Chiles, but it's Childs.
Yeah.
My last name looks like Chiles, but it's Childs.
Yeah, because last time I only she said she missed him in Philadelphia. Oh, she's not there. Showing her out again.
They get both my names wrong. I tried. Childs. It looks like Felicia Chiles, but it's Felicia Chiles.
4 or 5 instances that are out. Yeah, they really want to work. Just the culture, or at least 3 people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's really been on me for months, and he was still calling me Felicia, so like, maybe this week.
Hey, at least can't look at me like, what's the name? I give her the name, she's just staring at you like. To give the same name back, I'm like, all right, I got it. Like, you didn't even want to look at
Well,
what
actually, I did trust what you were saying, but then did you go and I thought heard you and kept running around with the names, so I was like, oh, maybe it's not.
Maybe show like, hey, good job. Oh, okay.
What is, I don't know if I would.
There are a lot of those cases. The other side, don't really come back.
Hey, Marshall, look it up. That could be what it's about. Again.
You know, we can't be there.
For my cases, no.
Well, that's
And they're not, your questions will not know like reading or something.
Yeah.
So when y'all see them, like trying to get off, I just have the basket, literally right after. But they don't send us the ones officer.
Yeah.
And initial.
Oh, when she came up and asked.
It looks like they just messed around.
Spain don't have that.
Yeah, they're like. literally 2 hours down. So they'll like come up. That was a question that will kind of.
Yeah,
Oh,
3 out of
gosh,
9.
this is so, that's not.
They got 3.
Yeah, they like people we just have friends.
It was cool.
And they're back there. I think it's-
Yeah, also we just had one school got fireworks.
Oh, it definitely was.
Yeah.
It definitely was. But, look.
Yes.
8 hours. You bypass.
That gate right there.
I'm tired of them. I'm tired of coming up on bypass. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of this security. How many can you execute? Truly, the endless amount of. If a civilian, I can't keep up with this. He keeps coming back to school. I'm gonna have to call the officer again. I didn't really, Judge found out this, but I don't have. Really? It's not always ice.
That'd be like.
Not arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You're right. No, it's good.
It's the time of the day.
Yeah, you call it. Rest of it. Maybe it's time to say, but.
You think he'll notice if I take his Skittles?
It's a good.
I know, that's true too.
She said he spent so much time.
So what do you wanna, what he's doing? I thought you just.
Right. And it's-
Yeah, I think what's the guy you got last?
No, that's Williams.
Oh, where's that?
Nothing bad.
You know,
I think it's on Mr. Edwards? Okay, just confirm. No, you can take a seat. I was just confirming with you.
Live too.
My friend.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
No, for the friend. It's a different story. For the friend.
Oh.
Go go thing. For you first.
I had friends that like died. And I didn't know like the train to poor man, but I had to have like weekend clubs and then you imagine that.
And I like this group, like pretty successful businessmen. Like, I'm on the next team, but I'd rather go. I'm just all here. I'll get together, put it in hand.
It is.
Yeah. Edwards, come on up. I think talking to your attorney yet or not? Right, okay, and she said you were really good, or she was.
I think was just waiting to sign my.
Was she wants you to wait for anything else besides signing, or?
No, I think she just wanted me to sign.
Okay. You go ahead and sign, so you'll get talking with your time, and then you'll get your reset.
What's your first video?
And your attorney's the one that everything up, right, she said you were good after you got everything signed, okay.
And Mr. Bias, got your bias. He's done.
Hey, Will, is that down there? The dismissal. Has he done it?
Yes.
Okay, let me make sure I put that up. Sorry to be proud.
Oh, there you go.
Any of the.
When did he come out?
Like an hour. Like. That's a lot of guys going.
Okay, I'm with
You have the attorney, so don't be superior, you're very important. This one has forfeit. It's supposed to be.
No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad.
To let you know, this is on the picture and.
Go on.
Everyone.
Oh, so then he asked George to say that he worked with like, to say that in the. There's one coach that hasn't signed them yet, but they're there. Wait. They changed it to number and harassing instead of real contact with a complaint with him.
Okay, so I will, you consider your copy or?
Yes, It's already.
Is he gone?
Yes, he's gone. He signed the new ones. I got it.
Did he leave already?
Yep.
Okay, I'll just remove the sign one. This time,
Okay. Want me to leave them on? Yeah. Okay.
we know these things, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like that?
Yes, good. Great. It's good.
Get up.
I know when I saw those, I was like, I have to get those because they're like, what?
I feel like I could throw in a big
They're
bag.
just, they're so good. When I saw like the little Valentine's Day packages, the more like, oh, I gotta get them, I gotta get them.
These are actually dangerous. Yeah.
I like the blue ones, but they came out with some little like white ones that.
Like those like blue raspberry type thing, like, like a blue one or?
No, the flavor is just blue.
Oh.
Blue is the flavor.
Blue is the flavor,
They
you're
came
right.
out with like a limited edition, like white blue one.
Yeah.
Like the nerds are red and blue, and those were really good. I think like cherry flowers. Oh, like the flavor and also.
I love like cherry, like the white gator.
Yes, those are really good. The only thing cherry that I ever really had that I love was the cherry Jolly Rancher.
No, yeah.
It's like too cherry.
Yeah, that's like better than cherry.
Yeah, it was weird.
Have you ever tried like cherry Coke?
Oh, I love cherry. Yeah, I like cherry vanilla. Never had
Cherry vanilla Coke.
anything cherry vanilla. And then I go to Sonic and go get almost like sort of with cream. I get like a Dr. Pepper and I add vanilla, sometimes a little bit here, and then a fresh lime.
That is so funny. The young lady there is gonna call us there.
Yes, sir. All right, appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right. Yes.
Oh, okay, so last. Yes, so he's got a around the same transaction. He has 450. He has money work today, so I don't know if
I love flowers, so I have flowers in his mouth. I won't ever get flowers,
Because he's really.
ever.
And I'm not.
So it looks like you just took a plea on the felony.
Well, so he did plead on the
You
felony?
pled on the robbery today.
Okay, because he pled on. And I don't need an answer now, just. I don't, I couldn't give us a spot, so.
Would you like to
Once
sign?
he asks for some, I think that. Yeah, I really don't want to try.
So it's not because of the money, it's because I don't see the value is someone. How long? Like when it led to?
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything we do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's not like, yeah, sure think.
Yeah, we kind of, yeah. Yeah, so just, I just want to put it on your radar so that way we can.
Well, I'll just make a note, no, I'm making it pass on. I mean, I'm fine.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Fantasía.
You'll write it off.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Y'all have a great weekend.
This sounds good.
Yeah.
Take care of
Did you have a leak?
She had a meeting with Bernadette.
Or something, yeah, I still have an email from the future.
Yeah, I think they'll.
She's very intelligent. And she just like presents, you know, just like that demeanor where it's like, oh, I trust you that you're gonna tell me. Yeah. In the talk, she could completely lie to me and I'd be like, are you guys kidding? You convinced me. I know, like, I'll give you my social security. I don't know. Bagels in the back. So are they gonna come in?
Dude, I don't like them toasted though. Purpose if you like them all toasted.
Just a toaster, man. You fit into it.
I love.
Yeah, it's because she got me this. It's some part of the
No mames.
Pero parece como granada, ¿no? Una granada.
I don't know what it was. It just looked like an inverted luncheon or something. That's.
It's pretty, I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe this way.
No, hombre. Eso no digo nada.
No.
Before I get in trouble. 3 years later. Any plans for tonight, ladies?
Probably
Boston happened, that's like all my friends. Okay, like, yeah, like, serious, like, why? Oh.
They pretty box. Oh. Okay.
We take the kids out to dinner. My wife and I do it. Kind of bad. Before her, so did she, so we like, when we met, we were like. We made reservations, and I made them like 2 months ago, so like. We know, because you go to the kids, so I can't believe that. They called me out, they called it. Okay, press time. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right there.
She was like, no, we are all young, except for Will.
No, she didn't say that.
So this year.
It was like, you're extremely young, and then, did you make a face?
I did. I'll show you right now. Don't say it. She was like, but I see Will's making a face.
Yeah, just missing all. Yeah.
It didn't get dismissed?
No, I see the motion for it, but I want to make sure with you guys where I delete some of my stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. So we're gonna go.
Today is not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Like this is the lightest tournament that I've had here ever.
It's very chill. Lots of moving sets, but nonetheless still pretty chill.
Yeah.
There was one you read that was really, what was it?
Huh?
I didn't screen. Yeah, it's just really bad.
What which one do you remember, like, a little bit about it?
I don't know, but long, like. And it won, and my neighbor won. And I said, hey, catch this.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was no wreck, but they all pulled into the gas station.
Oh, yeah. Where there was no wreck, like almost hit his vehicle and pulled him to the gas station, you know, where it is, specific, I saw him behind.
It was in the sun, yes,
Yeah.
they will read the summary. I read the whole chapter.
Yeah.
One was just kind of like, you know, see them get jumped down.
Yeah, they just skipped the whole, what happened,
So he made that at one.
almost in, they're at the gas station.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like on for PC, but there's my issue.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Produced driving for.
Mhm.
Like, August on the land. We're gonna go back and go. We've all last year.
I kind of hope that he won one of the kids that pulled the gun. Found out. That one there.
Yeah. Right, but it's kind of a good argument that it actually needed to be read.
Yeah, it's not bad, but the guy was running a shade.
Are you talking about the one yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was, okay, I was confused about that until after.
Yeah, so he was in a jack in the box, his brothers were outside selling water, and then he saw some guy running at them with a knife. So he went out there and pointed the gun up the guy with the knife and said, run through the brothers.
Yeah.
And the cop showed up and found the gun, and was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna charge you with.
But then he showed up the knife?
Yeah, we're sure, he's facing a felony now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, well, at least I got that.
But I, it's.
That one got dismissed yesterday, right? No,
Yeah, never seen not dismissed yet, Deanna wants to figure out.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I just felt so weird about the fact that the guy who threatened him was
Yeah.
getting charged and the guy who protected his truck was like, what
I mean,
happened?
we've had this pretty good run, and we weren't paying a lot, so.
Just to come back, just to finish up.
It's much.
Talking.
I mean, we.
It's more here.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you?
What he does is he swats.
Yeah, that's it.
We got players on the farm. Yeah.
You just wanna wait till.
But the thing is,
I was gonna ask at work, I was number 16, and it was, it's not someone assigned there, I don't remember who it was, but the gentleman, she does docket roll. And then at the beginning, where she reads everyone's
Yeah, we
names,
know.
and the attorney for every single person that wasn't there yet, sort of said like, stay loose was all about Berkshire. And it was like, I felt bad, I was like, I've never seen a misdemeanor before, and it, he had to do like, the judge, I don't think she was used to it, and she.
Oh, because it's a new judge and.
Yeah, well, and that person is an assignment, so like normally in court, 16, all the other days, they didn't do that. But it was during BBB, so someone was there and he did that. And I felt bad because the docket was long and he had to say his details because in that court also, on their papers, it says court starts at like 10 or something like that, when she starts the docket at like 9 or like 30. And so she was calling me to get like a head count, but
You know, get some drafts.
you know, she was,
Draft picks.
as of right now, she's being more lenient towards anybody being late because some of the wrong information is still going out like online and stuff. Right, so
2017.
most people were not there.
We won.
So he had to say it like so many times. I was like, I'm pretty sure the words just stopped seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how we can do that, Masters are really in.
Yeah.
Judge, you know what we wanna do? Like,
And what was I waiting on
Yeah.
again?
I mean.
All right, talk to
I
him.
just think they're different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just felt bad for him, I was like.
Yeah.
He was committed though.
Yeah,
I
gotta get it to
appreciate
him.
the commitment. I like the chief in 16 too, just cool.
Which side? Cause.
And she was done, she started with sex crimes unit.
No, but we'll see. Look at the
Sure.
16 years.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to watch no baseball because I don't watch basketball.
Yeah, I watch, I watch that's baseball. I don't watch football. Yeah, it's all Super Bowl, but
No, I watch football. That's my main thing. Football.
my son plays football somehow. I'll basically.
I do miss Michael though, Michael's good.
Music football.
It's fun.
That's fun.
It was fun to make fun of.
Yeah. Him and his dark green mustard.
Yes,
green
I do
suit.
think, I always think of, when I picture Michael, like, I think of that
That green
green.
suit,
The one
yeah.
that said he looks like the one slide.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We still tease him about that, that green suit. He says he loves it. He doesn't want
It's a
it.
nice suit, but just, I can't stop thinking of the one slur.
Yeah.
I think when Kobe retires, I really stopped watching basketball altogether. I can't stand LeBron.
Dude, did you see the?
He's a great player. I can't stand him.
Did you
I
see
never
the-
could.
From the White House.
Anyways, I'm going to see the opener.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're cheap. It's on the 20th.
No, he just tells everyone.
Second or 23rd?
Oh, yes. What's the name?
BBVA.
Okay.
It's a small stadium.
Yeah, we already. No, I didn't
I mean, he's got a family.
I think that if you did run, interim mandate, before your time.
Yeah.
Oh, and horrible things that she's done.
Yeah, land on lawn. Go to here, we went to the street.
It depends,
But you know where the Buc-ee's is, right?
Yeah.
So you're going north.
Oh,
290.
no, they're gonna try.
Get off the Buc-ee's. Exit. And turn left, right next to the airport. We're like, we're leaving like.
Yeah.
4 blocks from there. Yeah, 20 acres. It's growing.
Yeah.
I remember past, where there was not, and that when they bought, even then, even. Water, I was at, I used to drive at 4 hours, back and forth, back and forth, stuff, or, you know, from there back and forth. Was it, now? Yeah, so, yeah, from here to water, it's, there's stuff. It's all the same.
We're talking about who's missing your ex-boyfriend? Yeah, always. You can hear me.
Study findings.
Yeah, she lives in Houston, actually. He's from Michigan, so that makes more sense.
22 years old.
Still right there.
Yeah.
Oh, who got it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
I'll see you guys next week. That's it. Yeah, the way they look, they'll speak. Oh, no, it's
Yeah,
right
dude.
here.
You can have whatever you want.
Lay long. Come on up.
Oh, yeah. It's so fun.
You can all go and sign for your bond.
Thank you.
Let's see. All
The only ones that got amended were.
right. And you already talked to your attorney? Oh, wait, you're gonna be, you did get an attorney.
Yeah, I already talked to him. He's already at the.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and get you this bond petition. And then your. Here's your reset. This is your next court date at the top, April something. But you don't appear here. Yeah. Your attorney will appear for you, so stay in contact with them.
Hey,
If
guys,
they tell you
don't-
to appear, then you need to appear. Here's a copy of your bond. Just.
Hi, are we ready? Are we done?
What you want to get your.
Thank you. I appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you, brother.
I don't give you guys back and back. Also, did y'all get some bagels?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they're
Thank you so
delicious.
much.
Thank you.
Let's go through the list.
Oh, I thought you noticed your Skittles were missing. Because you were up in arms.
No one's taking my Skittles. Did you guys dismiss Alati? LT?
The McKinney story.
That was,
Page 2. Yes, we did.
you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a high bond too. Did you see that bond? Sheesh.
Okay.
Garrett Taylor?
It was taken in.
Your case is dismissed. You get your bond number?
He'll come back on Monday. Anna wants him back on Monday.
Yeah.
That's-
I feel like I should have more of my bonds than my.
It's canceled, usually go.
Hey guys, if the case goes to this, do you get your bond money back?
Yeah, I think you get money back. I'd imagine you get the value.
Like, I feel like I don't
Because it's not
know as
forfeiting
much
your
about
bond.
bonds as
Yeah,
I
so you
should.
you should get your money back.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's over now, it's closed.
Okay, so if you
And you,
post a bond
Mhm.
and it gets revoked and the bond is set.
you lose the bond you paid.
You lose it, you don't get any of it back.
Right.
Okay, so you forfeit.
You have to
all of
post
it.
a new bond, yes.
So do you post all of that old bond, since you're forfeiting it?
No, just any money that you paid, but then you're in the hole with the company that posted it for you though.
Yeah.
So you have to, you're on like a loan now.
Yeah.
So you're screwed a
So
little
if
bit.
it's like a thousand, there's
Mhm.
$100 bond, meaning you pay $10,
Mhm.
whatever. And it gets revoked.
So you lose the $10 and
You
then,
lose the $10 you put back, but you're still in the hole
right, for the bonding.
for the rest, okay.
Right, that's why that like bounty hunters, like chase people around.
Oh, okay, because they forfeit that.
Before,
so,
yeah, now the company wants their money, yeah.
Okay.
Alicia, can you do me a favor?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Craig,
Yes, Judge.
he has had past bond violations. How many? I know it's at least one, but I don't know if it's two or more BVRs. Please.
All right, Judge, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm finishing the bond, the BVR. I have this here. Yes.
I did his, Fraser update.
All I can see on my end right now, even looking at his enacted ones for his misdemeanor cases, this is the only one, but he has bond forfeited before, but not due to a BVR specifically. He had an MAJ. And then I believe forfeited it again. And then he had a felony, he has two felony bond violations, but though the first one is from picking up the charges for misdemeanor.
Okay, so. Okay, Vic, you ready?
Judge, page 7 and 8, Pullman. Raymond Belton,
2501 on both.
Next, page 14. Stanley, that's for Raymond Belton, Peter, first time.
2501.
Page 17. Weatherby, set for Raymond, 2 bonds posted.
5002, and I gotta do a BO. Okay, who's next?
Judge, on page 22, last name Ujjan. John is not on.
John is what?
One.
What about it?
He's the attorney on the case.
Okay.
I told him yesterday he needed to approach. The defendant wasn't yesterday, so I rolled it for today. And the defendant's back there, but now no John. You want me to roll it to Monday?
So he's on probation he's on a deferred for a DWI with us. Wow. The bond is at 10,004. Is it because he's just,
He's absconded. So he reported one time and then absconded after that.
okay. Yeah, I guess roll to Monday.
That's the last one, Judge.
Judge, could you do a no PC form for Herrera? I think it was the trespass at the school.
Yes.
Was it gonna be on both cases? or just-
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes. I thought I did know. Did I not?
I don't think we got a change.
I think that one, I could reach out and see.
I know we have DWI and then another one.
Right, I know the DWI one. I'll see, I think.
Okay.
Like
It was 4 cases,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'll check again.
Nice for thing they're listening to that. They're gonna go about it, felony probation. So it's like, they decide.
Did you want that cookie first?
Oh, John's here.
Oh, yes, good. Can you hold on this one?
Hey, John.
Sure do.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm okay. Apparently,
Thanks for coming.
yeah, no worries. Apparently, Mr. Guzman popped up, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna roll it to Monday.
That's fine.
For you to get in here to talk to him, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, no worries. I mean, he's kind of in a bit of a pickle since I think he was on a defer in our court.
Yeah.
And he picked up those two new cases.
So let me see.
I'm assuming you're probably going to revoke.
Right. So you know what the thing is, John, is that we had so many issues with him. So with our case, he picked up an unlawful carrying. The bond is at 5,003 because he kept taking off, gets the DWI, and then he gets on a deferred on the DWI. And then as soon as he gets on the deferred, he absconds. And then now, as of 2/13, yesterday, he picked up a less than a gram and an unlawful carrying of a weapon.
Correct.
So my guess is that he was probably driving. Is that right?
I don't know, Judge. I'm
gonna find out. Guzman.
Guzman? Yes, Judge.
To jail. He's in custody.
Yes, Judge. I'll pull him up right now.
Not only that, he was not supposed to even be driving. Did he sign a no driving affidavit as part of his?
Yes, I have another driving.
He's not supposed to even be driving. Let's see if he was. Do you mind, bringing Mr. Guzman out?
So Judge, it says yes, on February 11th.
Hold on.
Yes,
wait for him to come out.
Yes, Judge.
You want to print out the driving? You want me to print it?
Yeah, I'd like to show you.
Yes. I can do things today.
And there's some more.
Good morning, Mr. Guzman.
Morning.
How's jail?
Always. Old.
You're here with your lawyer. Your lawyer's on Zoom. I don't know, the TV's not working, but he's here with you. We have appointed Mr. Duong to represent you. You are on probation in this court for driving while intoxicated. Can you just put that right there in front of him, please? Right there. You recognize that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do probable cause. I'd like to know what happened on so what happened is you're on deferred in this court for the DWI. You picked up a felony possession of a controlled substance. You also picked up an unlawful carrying of a weapon. I have no idea what happened on those cases, so like to hear what happened.
Yes, Judge. On February 11th, 2024, the officer observed a silver Chevy Silverado traveling on the 2400 block of Little York Road in Houston. The officer ran the vehicle and it returned as a white Chevy pickup truck, and the officer knew that the truck in front of him was not white in color. Therefore, the officer initiated a traffic stop. The defendant immediately opened the door and attempted to get out. A high-risk stop was initiated and the defendant complied with instructions. The defendant was detained and the officer observed an NL sticker on the vehicle, which the officer knows stands for Mexican State of Nuevo Leon. The officer observed in plain view a glass pipe connected to a plastic bottle from which training experience known to be consistent with drug paraphernalia. The officer located a clear crystal-like substance consistent with meth, and another officer located a handgun behind the passenger seat.
I'm sorry, you picked up with us the unlawful carrying of a weapon. I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So, John, it looks like felony court is set for the 17th. Do you want to set it perhaps for the day after to see what happens up there?
Sounds good to me, Judge. And then I'll, Mr. Guzman, I'll, come by the jail to talk to you further. Okay?
Okay.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond on both cases not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. And they gave you a PR bond on your gun case. I don't know if that was a smart move. You've not made bond on the DWI as it is, so I don't know. We'll see about the PR bond, but do not drive. I don't know if you're going to get out or not. If you do, you will get a GPS monitor because you are a flight risk. I find by clear and convincing evidence that you are a flight risk. As a result, you will get a GPS monitor, and I'm also going to give you a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, you will go back in.
I haven't. Want to drink this?
Well, I can't while you're in jail.
Okay.
But if you do get out, trust me, Mr. Guzman, you will be tested frequently.
Okay, that's fine with me. I haven't been using drugs.
So what I'd like to do also is do a TRAS to see where we go from here. I don't know, quite frankly, I don't know where we go from here. You're on probation in this court, and I don't know, because what we typically do is we do evaluations to see, because I have clinician on staff to see how we go forward. I know you tell me what, it's like little bunnies jumping in the woods, but the fact remains is that you've picked up a new case, you absconded on our case, we had issues with that, now we've got issues here of what happened with these cases. So we will have you evaluated to see how we go forward. And I don't know, they may say residential treatment, they may say outpatient treatment. I have no idea. But that's why I have clinicians on staff because they are better. They have the tools to tell me how to go forward because Mr. Guzman, I just don't know you.
I'm just trying to get rid of this stuff and get it over with. I don't want to be up in here as much as you want to see me up in here.
So if you don't mind setting them up for a TRAS and then we'll go from there. So John,
The reset date was 3/17, Judge?
no, he's set for February 17th. So next,
Okay, I got you. So he's going to.
on Monday, he's set for felony court. So I guess we'll do, the next day and we'll figure out where we go, huh?
Yeah, I'll have to zoom in, Judge, because I'm out for the rest of next week. So I mean,
Okay, yeah, no issue. No problem. That's what we have it, okay?
so the 18th?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
All right, Judge. Thanks. All right, Guzman, I'll talk to you later.
So do you mind those conditions, please? And we'll have him sign it. All right. All right, man.
All
Good
right,
luck.
thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend, my excuse.
You too, man. Happy Valentine's Day.
You too.
I'll just chuck it.
Just question. Can I approach and introduce my son to you?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. How's everybody doing? I believe this is about to.
Wow, he looks just like you.
Judge Fleischer, he's the judge
Hey.
for that law 5.
How are you? Have you been to the Van Gogh Museum?
No, sir.
It's great. It's awesome. Man, it's really cool. You should go one day. How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
He's awesome. He's so great.
He was looking
You
forward
got to
meeting-
follow
He
him.
was looking forward to meeting you, Judge.
Here, how about some candy? We have some cookies over there too, if you want some cookies. Oh, can I give him candy?
It's all good. He's 15. He can make his own.
Well, I don't. You got to follow in his footsteps. That's what it's all about. Knowledge is power. When you know things, you go so far in life and you get money. That's what counts, right? Yeah.
Appreciate it, Judge.
If you ever want to come hang out and watch what we do, stop by. We can have you sit in the chair over there and just kind of hang out and just watch what we do. Yeah,
Sounds great. Thank you.
absolutely.
We had a day off, so I figured we.
I know my kids are off too.
Yeah, yes, sir.
We're gonna go to the movies now. I'm just itching to go see the Marvel movie.
Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, bye, Mr. Brooker. So are we done?
Yes, Judge, we're done.
All right, rock and roll.
For
Have fun.
Guzman, Judge, our options were the 19th for the TRAS, is that okay? Or I can have them come whenever he's brought here.
19. Does he have felony court that day?
This is the 7th. Felony court date is the 7th. So we won't get him that Monday. Tuesday, and then Wednesday is the TRAS.
That sucks. I guess, yeah, do it that day, and then we'll. Yeah. Okay. Done.